This video is brought to you by Straight Goods News, Canada's alternative online news source. Visit straightgoods.ca.
The Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives is out with a new report today calling for a green industrial revolution, zero carbon future, and a significant carbon tax with a redistribution component to that. How do you react to those kinds of ideas?
I haven't read the report, but I do know that this government has turned its eyes away from every sustainable initiative there is, right? They have doubled down on the oil sector and are exporting that energy now raw. It seems to me that there needs to be a little bit more balance in our energy policy. We need to have an energy policy, right? The Premier of Alberta, the head of every major oil company in the country, has talked about energy security, and they need to have some kind of a plan. The only people left saying no are the Conservative Party of Canada. So in terms of the specifics, what the CCPA has put out today, again, I haven't looked at it, but in terms of moving towards a more sustainable future and towards a more balanced economy is absolutely something that we've championed for many years.
The study itself was funded indirectly by the Social Sciences and Humanities Council from Industry Canada. Is that a good way for that council to be spending its money funding this kind of study?
Yeah, you're probably too into the particulars for me, but what I dislike is a Prime Minister who stands up and say anybody who disagrees with us should receive no support from the government. There's a great book I have on my shelf in my office that says great leaders don't take yes for an answer. And the idea is that you should always be challenging the thinking of the day, always be challenging in the conversation. We have a Prime Minister who's surrounded himself with yes men, and the result is that we have unbalanced policy across a whole variety of sectors, lecturing Europe and pretending that Canada is somehow isolated on an island, while at the same time trying to negotiate a free trade deal with Europe. I'm not sure they've thought this one through, right? There's a whole series of things that the Prime Minister gets his energy up, and no one has the courage to tell him, well, Prime Minister, maybe you should rethink that. And when he's wrong, he's very wrong. He almost lost his government a couple times, if you'll remember.
On the budget, has the NDP run numbers on what this budget is going to cost ordinary families?
It's very difficult. We know it's going to cost seniors $12,000 in their pensions. We know it's going to cost people employment insurance benefits that they're entitled to. In terms of the net cost to families, it's almost impossible to say, partly because neither us, nor the Parliamentary Budget Officer, nor anybody can get numbers from the government. Hence, tomorrow evening, Conservatives will happily and joyfully vote blind on the biggest piece of legislation that we faced. So how do you estimate the costs when government hides all the facts, even when they tell you they have those facts at their disposal?